But believe you me, the God of strength will never let you go. He will overcome, I know. And the arms that hold the universe are holding you tonight. You can rest inside. It's gonna be alright. And the voice that calmed the raging sea is calling you his child. So be still and know he's in control. He will never let you go. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, you have already come. His grace has brought you safe thus far. His grace will lead you home. And the arms that hold the universe are holding you tonight.
Check one, check two, check 1 2. It's Friday.
Be alright. And the voice that calmed the raging sea is calling you his child. So be still and know he's in control. He will never let you go. You can hope, you can rise, you can stand. He's still got the whole world in his hands. You can hope, you can rise, you can stand. He's still got the whole world in his hands. And the arms that hold the universe are holding you tonight. You can rest inside. It's gonna be alright. And the voice that calmed the raging sea is calling you his child. So be still and know he's in control. He will never let you go. He will never let you go. He's still got the whole world in his hands. He's still got the whole world in his hands.
has held the oceans in his hands? Who has numbered every grain of sand? Kings and nations tremble at his voice. All creation rises to rejoice.
Behold our God, seated on his throne. Come, let us adore him. Behold our King, nothing can compare. Come, let us adore him.
Counsel to the Lord, who can question any of his words? Who can teach the one who knows all things? Who can fathom all his wondrous deeds? Behold our God, seated on his throne. Come, let us adore him. Behold our King, nothing can compare. Come, let us adore him. Adore him. Adore
Who has felt the nails upon his hands, bearing all the guilt of sinful man? God eternal, humble to the grave, Jesus Savior, risen now to reign. Behold our God, seated on his throne. Come, let us adore him. Behold our King, nothing can compare. Come, let us adore him. You will reign forever. 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 Behold our God, seated on his throne. Come, let us adore.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the most exciting half hour of everyone's week. Half hour-ish.
Definitely the most exciting.
Like almost a half hour. Mr. Harris back here with me.
It's
Also,
good to be back.
back at the, what did we go with? Is it the burrito table or
Oh, no.
what were we going to call it?
It's the nacho.
The nacho table.
table.
The nacho. By the way,
nacho
Andrew
table.
walked in. Just so you know, we can't see ourselves this week. Normally we would see ourselves.
Oh, that's gonna kind of freak me out this week.
we took that away, so we're just trusting Steven. Steven's back there.
It's a good thing I'm not vain.
Steven's
you
switching the
definitely
camera.
don't wanna
so
see what he has on
we're
camera
we're
right now.
like we're adjusting to that. So don't worry about us.
I might just have to resort to watching myself a minute and a half
We may
behind on YouTube.
oddly stare into the camera or oddly look around the room. That's why. Don't worry about it. It's totally normal. But hey, should we start with the game? I think so.
Let's play.
Okay, so get your phone, and Mr. Turner's going to put up my phone number. Now, They should have my phone number
Boom.
because
Yeah,
we
I'm
gave
not- I don't
them
think I'm
my
coming
phone
through.
number.
If they wanted free food, they should have your phone number.
They've had the option up until now. So today, grab a phone. Doesn't have to be a cell phone. Any phone.
Grab your iPod.
It can be.
Talking
It
to you,
can
Tyler.
be a phone with a wire like attached to it. It can be a phone with a dial
Hold on.
attached to it.
Do those things exist?
Smoke signals technically would work with this phone number. So here's what we're gonna do. You are watching, and I'm going to ask for anybody that's watching right now that calls me, the first person to call me, you will have the opportunity to win some food. Now, what we're going to do is as soon as the phone rings, we're going to put up a question on the screen, and we're going to ask the person that answers a question. So we're putting them on the hot seat. All right, we're going to put them on the hot seat.
Nikki, call in. We have a geography question.
Now, this is what's funny. There's a 90-second delay. So they're calling. When they call, they're not going to know about this. So like, they're going to call, and then they're going to hear us say they have to answer a question. So hopefully that won't
It's
cause
a
any
bait and
problems.
switch.
But phone's ready, so we're just waiting for that first phone call. What we're going to do is we're going to ask some random questions today. And we're going to ask for people to call in. So you call in, you answer our random question, and our probably questions about your answer. And then I'm going to be delivering some snacks.
Okay.
Possibly a 12-pack of soda, possibly a big bag of your favorite chips, but something's going to be coming to you. And I will be physically, literally, socially distancingly dropping that food off to you. So we should be getting pretty close here now because I just saw the phone number go live on the screen. So any over-unders on who you think will be the first one to call? I'm kind of curious. I think
it'll be a girl.
You think a girl?
Yeah.
We'll see. I see a lot of guys commenting on here right now, so I'm not sure who's paying attention and who's not. So pick up that phone, dial the number. First one. Now, we will do this again later in the show, so keep the phone handy.
I guess we're doing Wi-Fi calling down here.
I hope it works. As long as we get the call coming through.
Any day now.
Yep, people. I'm on Wi-Fi. Let's see here. So, what would you request? Oh, we dropped the call. Hold on, I'm gonna call back here. Hello.
What's up?
Who is this?
It's Jacob.
What's up, Jake Moore?
That was the last person I would have thought would have been the first person.
Mr. Harrod here thought that it was going to be a girl that would call in first. Okay, we're going to play a quick game with you, so hang on one second. Mr. Turner, we're going to play a game. It's called Hot Seat. So we're going to ask you some completely random question, and we just want you to give us your answer and let us know what you're thinking about this particular topic.
All right.
Okay, so here we go. Ready? We're going to spin the wheel, and let's see what we come up with. And stop. Here is your question. What is your favorite book to read? Jake, I know you love to read.
Lord of the Rings. The first one.
The first one specifically?
Yeah, the first one specifically.
Have you guys all read The Lord of the Rings? Mr. Turner, have you read The Lord of the Rings before?
No, I have read.
I'm really surprised by that. You kind of strike me
Chronicles
as like
of
a
Narnia.
Loader.
I read all of those.
Jake, have you read all of them?
I've read all of them.
Have you read The Hobbit as
Twice.
well?
I've read The Hobbit.
Okay.
I read The Hobbit.
But the Fellowship of the Ring would be your favorite one.
Gotta be the Fellowship of the Ring.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna bring tomorrow to you either your favorite bag of chips or your favorite case of soda. What would you choose?
I would choose some Coke.
Coke, just straight regular Coke.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Hey, I think I can find that. Hey, thanks for calling in, Jake, and keep watching. All right. Catch you later.
See you, buddy.
All right, boom. It's that easy. You can get some free food. You can have some fun, and my phone's blowing up, but that's okay. Okay, here we go. We're going to keep going, but keep those phones handy because we will come back to the hot seat in a few minutes. Now, it's the end of school for a lot of people.
You know, it was the end of school for me about 10 years ago.
Mr. Turner, are you glad school's over?
I think my wife is glad school's over. For me, it really doesn't matter while we're during this. It doesn't bother me at all.
in all seriousness, I think my college graduation was like 10 years ago, like yesterday.
Like yesterday.
Are you meaning like, are you glad that I'm done with school?
Absolutely.
Done with school?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm glad I'm done.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm glad I'm done with school.
If
You
I
kidding me?
understand this correctly, I believe PV's done. Springford's not done. I think the academy finishes Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday's
I think
the
some
last
of them
final.
might already be done. My daughter's finished today. She's
Done.
completely done. I got to tell you, Maddie finished kindergarten today, so we had a little bit of an emotional moment there for Daddy, but we're good. We made it through.
I don't think Daddy was the only one being emotional.
we had a good time though. Hey, we're gonna jump in here to our fourth promise. We've been doing a series on promises from God, and so this morning it's not this morning anymore. This afternoon, we're gonna give you one more promise, and then we're actually gonna jump into a new series here in a couple weeks. But we've been calling the series Unmovable, and the fact that God's promises are for sure. They stand the test of time, and we can rest on those promises. And so this morning, I want to kind of like wrap the whole thing together.
Afternoon.
Why do I keep doing that? It's like a cave down here.
Yeah.
We're in the basement, so there's no windows. So it's like you lose track of time. It's just completely.
It's like when the flight attendant, she scans your ticket and you go, or she says, have a nice flight. And I'm like, yeah, you too. Yeah, it's
I
just
do
one of
that all
those
the time.
things.
All right, so here's promise number 4. Okay, we're gonna look at promise number 4 today, and as we get into this, let me ask you in the comments. I want you to give me give me a scenario in your life that you might come across that causes maybe a little fear, maybe a little doubt, maybe something that you don't know, what the outcome's going to be, and maybe would put you in a situation where you could be fretful, you could be concerned. So let me ask you right off the top, like what would be a scenario in your life today that going into it, you kind of have to not do a double take, but you'd have a little bit of concern, opportunity for fear, opportunity for doubt.
The only thing that really gets my heart racing is like when you're because my car has like a faster engine.
Okay.
So I don't always pay attention to how fast I'm going. So inevitably, like every time you drive past the police car on the highway or something, and you're like,
boom.
It's like
I know that feeling.
It's like, hold on, how fast am I going? And then you're like, and then you just kind of look in the rearview mirror, like, is he gonna come get me? Is he gonna come get me? That really gets my heart going.
The house we used to live in, I had to drive on 422 every day, and I remember that feeling very many times. Mr. Turner, can you think of a situation in your life that would cause a moment, not panic, but a moment of fear, maybe the possibility for doubt? You're about to do something, and not sure what the outcome could be. What do you got?
Man, that's a tough on the spot question. I'll be honest, I'm not much of a daredevil taker. So it wasn't me like unsure of the outcome, but I guess sort of. So there's this river that we used to go to growing up for camping, and there was like this rope swing, like this deep part of the river, and there's a rope swing there.
Right.
So we go down to go to it, and I was always, when I got older, I was like fine with it, but I was in like 12 or whatever. I was so afraid to go to it. So this one year, I was about 12. We go down the rope swing, and there was these teenagers there that were doing it. The guys were all doing it, and there was this girl there, and she just was like afraid to do it. So she finally goes and does it. And I don't know if she wasn't holding onto the rope. Like as soon as she goes up, you just know something bad is about to happen. And she jumps off, and I don't know if she wasn't holding onto the rope tight enough or what, but she slides all the way down that rope, and her feet drag on that beach, and she goes, and she face plants into the sand. Oh my! She bloody nose. It was amazing, but like at that feeling of I don't know what's going to happen here, but it's not going to be good, and it wasn't good.
And it's funny you say it that way because I think that's a key in this situation, right? You find yourself in a situation where you don't know what's going to happen. It's the uncertainty of that moment that can cause the panic, right?
Well,
it's I don't know what's gonna happen.
Like, do you remember? So speaking of ropes, do you remember when we were in Puerto Rico way back when? This was probably like 18 years ago now at this point. But Matt and I went to Puerto Rico on a mission trip, and we went on this hike.
Tres Picachos.
And we get there, and we all had like shorts and T-shirts on, and all the Puerto Ricans show up in like thick jeans,
heavy duty hiking pants.
It's like, we're in trouble.
Something's not right.
But anyway, we got to like one point where we had to climb up this rope, and my mom was ahead of me, and all of a sudden there was just like and you just hear this like boom, 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 and you just see like something tumbling down, and it was like right when my mom had like gotten to the rope. I was like, oh no. I was like, did my mom just go flying down the mountain? But I think it was just like a rock or something.
So there are a lot of things in our lives that can happen that can cause us to fear or be doubtful because of uncertainty. You know, there's one thing in my life I would love to do that I haven't done that would cause me to feel this way, and that is to jump out of an airplane. I've always wanted to jump out of an airplane. But even as I think about the possibility of that, even as I picture in my mind the moment, I can just feel the thoughts running through my head. But what if the parachute doesn't open? But what if, you know, a bird flies by and hits me in the head and I die from a duck, you know, running into me? Like there's uncertainty that comes around that, and the realities in our lives, uncertainty can cause us to be fearful. It can cause us to doubt. It can cause us to panic. And a lot of the promises that we've talked about the last couple of weeks really answer some of those fears and emotions. And today we're going to wrap all of that up, because the reality is there's a lot of uncertainty right now, right?
Yep.
Like everybody's hoping for June 4th for us to be able to like get back to normal, but we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, you know, what that timeline really is going to look like. And, you know, school's now done, and there's just a lot of uncertainty in our lives. And the reality is we would love for that uncertainty to go away. The problem is that's just not how life works. I mean, everything in life, there's going to be the possibility for uncertainty. Unfortunately, we just don't always get to know the outcome before we step out into a situation. That's kind of bad news. But here's some good news, right? The good news is there are some things that we can know. There are some things we can be absolutely assured of. And 1 Corinthians 10:13 comes to mind. And the Bible says this: there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man, to all of us. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation make a way to escape that ye may be able to bear. Now take that word temptation and swap it out with any number of scenarios.
Yep.
God is with us. He will stay with us. He will provide a way for us to come through everything that happens in life. He will be right there with us. And the promise today is just that. God is always with us. He's always with us. We don't have to falter. We don't have to fail. You know, there's going to be those moments where you find yourself lonely and afraid and tired, and you start to question, should I try? Should I give up? You know, and I don't know what that situation is for you. You know, maybe it's school here as it's finishing. Like, what's the point of trying? I could just give up.
Oh, I forgot
right?
to do all my homework all year. Now, oh no, what's my
the
grade gonna be?
coronavirus ate my homework. I mean, like, there's all kinds of excuses you come up with, but the reality is we get to decide whether we're going to stick with it or not.
Right.
But we have the assurance that God is with us through all this trial. So whether it's a relationship issue with your family, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's just unknowing what's coming in the future, we can trust that God's with us. We don't have to give up. We don't have to quit. He'll stick with us. And as I think about that, an illustration came to my mind, especially around this time of graduation, right? Graduation was a great moment for myself, high school and college. Did you enjoy that moment of accomplishment? Like, did that bring any relief to you?
So, like, in the moment,
I
think, yeah, it's like it's a capstone. So it's nice to kind of
Right.
have that closure. But at
Right.
the same time, I don't know that I've thought about it twice since it happened.
Absolutely not. No, but in that moment, man, it's good stuff. Like Madison
good.
this morning, the fact that she's done kindergarten is like, but you know that'll go away. But the reality is, mommy's pretty excited, right? An accomplishment was made.
Yep.
And you know, let me put it this way: if you were to go through all of high school, right, all of kindergarten, elementary, high school, and you're getting there, like you're almost there, you're almost done, and the excitement is starting to brew. Some of you, this is you right now because you're getting ready to graduate and be done. Can you imagine if you got to like the night before graduation, right? All the work's been done, it's complete, it's finished. All of the time and effort, it's all been put in, and you get a note from the school that you have a library book that's overdue from like 10th grade. and you owe the school like $50. I mean, it just that like 25 cents a week just kind of has compounded over time, and maybe you owe $50. And you walk into your parents' room and you say, "I guess I can't graduate." Like, it just all that hard work. It's just not going to happen. I just don't have $50, so like, too bad.
And have to get in 14 hours at Dairy Queen this week.
send the graduation presents back. Cancel the graduation party. Like, we just can't do it. It's not going to work out. Can you imagine how your parents might respond in that moment?
Probably wouldn't go well, I don't think.
They'd probably be like, "Where's the book?" first of all. But the reality is, they're not going to let those years of investment just slip by because they don't have $50.
Yeah.
They've invested thousands and thousands of dollars into your education. $50 is like, that's nothing.
I'd probably get the $50. I'd probably have to do a little work for it, though.
You'd find a way to get that money, take care of that. And when it comes to our spiritual lives, we kind of treat our Heavenly Father like this. There is a problem that we have in our lives that we can't overcome on our own. Like, if we try, we fail. And very simply, it's this. We're born in sin, separated from God. We have no way to heaven on our own. And so God sent his son to die for us. He made this huge investment in us. And we have this relationship that's restored. And then we get into the Christian life, and we hit a road bump. We hit a trial. We hit some suffering. We hit some quarantine, right? And it's like, can't do it. I can't handle it. This is too much. We're just gonna give up now. And it's like we're totally missing the fact that God's done all the work for us already. We have this relationship with him. He's right here with us. We just need to rely on him.
Yep.
We just need to give ourselves over to him, let him be in control, let him be the one to carry us through, because he is already with us.
Yep.
We just have to accept that and allow him to get involved. And that it reminds me of Daniel chapter 3.
Yeah, so Daniel chapter 3, speaking of investments, so Nebuchadnezzar was shelling out some major coin.
Big time.
So he's like, what would be a great idea? Because I am just God's gift. Actually, forget that. I am God, and I am the gift
Absolutely.
to everybody. So what would be a great idea for me? Let me build this huge statue for myself. And because I'm the humblest person on earth, I'm going to get everybody from the country to come to this huge plane. I'm trying to think, like, what would be a good example. Maybe, it's like if you're going down the Schuylkill going into Philly, you kind of come around, like, the corner, and then all of a sudden you just see the skyscraper. You see the Comcast Center shooting up into the sky.
Great
it would be that kind of, like, picture. So all of a sudden you just see this huge thing that's shooting up in the air. And he goes, you know what, I'm going to start playing my music, and everybody is going to bow and worship me. And the music starts, and then there's like, huh? Hold on. There's like,
you got to be kidding
there's
me.
some clowns out here.
They're not participating.
They're not participating.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
Not
believe
good.
them.
Not good.
Like, okay, get those clowns, bring them up here. He gives them the riot act and says, basically, I am God. Like, how dare you? Like, which God is going to save you? And they don't even argue and so at this point in the story, it's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they don't even argue the point with Nebuchadnezzar. They're just confident in that they know that their God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that he is the one true God. And they're like, we're not even going to bother arguing this point.
Right.
We're just going to let you know that we know that our God is with us. He's promised that he's going to be with us if we follow him.
And it's not the first time that they've had this conversation
Right.
with Nebuchadnezzar. I mean, they've had this experience already.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel had just interpreted a dream.
Right.
So it's not like this is a crazy
Right.
Thing for them. So Nebuchadnezzar goes, well, whatever. Like, you are going to bow. Like, this is not an option. And he goes, okay, I'll give you one more chance. He strikes up the band.
One more time.
And just trying to think about, like, okay, if I'm Nebuchadnezzar in this scenario, maybe it's like Sunday school class. Maybe a bad correlation, but it's like, okay, it's time to focus for the lesson.
last time I'm going to ask you to be quiet.
Can you please be quiet? It's like, okay, so then you start going back in the lesson again. And then somebody's cracking jokes or on
Not
Snapchat
working.
or something.
Not
No,
working.
Okay, but so Nebuchadnezzar starts playing the music, and they don't bow. They don't bow. They just stand there in total
Right.
like contempt, of what he has to say. And so Nebuchadnezzar goes, heat up that furnace. I'm just trying to think of like how like inside he's just got to be churning like the
clearly
anger
he's
and
out
the
of control,
fury.
angry.
And
Out of
so
control.
they heat it up. The guys who are putting the wood in the fire, they burn up. Like that's how hot it was. I can't even imagine. It's kind of like
crazy.
You see in a movie and like it's like poof, you just like kind of evaporate.
Right.
I kind of have like that feeling, like they're just
Yeah.
disintegrated by the heat. And the three of them get thrown in. And I think some people would be like, God will always take care of you. And there's a truth in that, but they didn't know what was going to happen.
Absolutely.
They knew that they were going to worship the one true God, but they didn't know how God was going to take care of that situation for them.
100%. There was no guarantee.
No, they
Knew that God was going to be with them, and they knew what God had done in the past.
Yep.
But there was no like specific word from the Lord. If you go into a fiery furnace, you will survive. Like,
Right,
that doesn't exist in the
yeah,
situation.
it's not like they have this like huge hedge.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, you know what? I can just be like totally flippant because I'm not going to die because of this. Like no, like here the people burning up. Like I'm probably
Absolutely.
going to die.
Absolutely.
And they were so confident in who God was that they were willing to sacrifice for what they believed.
Yeah.
And thrown into the fire. And then, if Nebuchadnezzar was astonished with the fact that he looks across this great huge plain and everybody's bowing except these three people,
Right.
I can only imagine what he's thinking when he's seen the other people basically disintegrate. And not only are they still standing, but there is another person. It's got to be
Inexplicable.
Was it too
speechless for a
was
moment?
was it too hot?
Absolutely.
Was it too hot today?
Didn't work.
Was it too hot today? And all of a sudden, I'm seeing like double or something. Like, am I
Absolutely.
seeing like is my left eye? Am I seeing the one guy twice? But no, Jesus Christ in his pre-incarnate form is there in the fire with them.
With them.
And they
Absolutely.
come out, and it's just another picture to Nebuchadnezzar that get it in your head, like Jehovah God, he is the one true God, and his promises to us, the promises that he makes to his people, it's just another
They're true.
fulfillment
Absolutely.
that he is who he says he is, and he's worthy of worship, not
Yeah.
some like, look at me, I've got a statue.
Right.
It's like,
right.
I am the God of the
Absolutely.
universe. I created everything. Instead
It's so applicable to today because, we find ourselves in a situation where there's uncertainty. We find ourselves in a situation where we don't know what the outcome is, but we can trust the promise of God that he will be with us. And the way that he comes through for us might be different, right?
Right.
Like,
It's
there are
not gonna
different
be the
scenarios
same in
that
every
can play
situation.
out, but that shouldn't shake my faith to continue with him. Now, God might end the trial, right? Like that's what he did for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They did not feel those flames. That moment didn't come out the way they thought it was going to.
And I think this is something that kind of stood out to me in this story. It's the short term versus the long term view.
Absolutely. Yep.
Like they
Yep.
knew that in the short term, it is a lot easier for me to just kneel. Like
Right.
I'm gonna eliminate that kind of slap on the wrist that I might get in the short term, or getting tossed in, maybe getting tossed in a fire
Right.
isn't a slap on the wrist, but like eliminating that short term pain. But the long view was like,
Definitely.
I know that there's reward for following the promises of God and for obeying Him. And I think a lot of times we question in the short term because we feel pain
Yeah.
here and now, but we don't understand necessarily how what transpires today is going to impact our lives in 10 years or
For
20
sure.
years, or for that matter, all of eternity. So
Yeah.
I think that's hard. That's something that's hard for me because we live so much in the here and now.
Right.
but-
Get your focus off of my personal comfort in the moment
right.
to realize God could be using the discomfort, or he may
doesn't-
take it away. We
yeah,
don't know, but
It
that's
doesn't
not
mean
the
that He
point.
doesn't care about me, that He
Exactly.
doesn't love me, that His promises aren't true in the here and now.
The way God will come through for us in those moments in the immediate can be very different.
Right.
God could end the trial. God could provide encouragement to get you through the trial, leave the trial going. God could just give you wisdom to kind of figure out how to continue. He could give you just strength to persevere. He might even just bring somebody else along to share in the burden.
Right.
But yeah, that immediate resolution, the promise isn't that God will just make your life a bed of roses, right? Like that's
it's not the
that's
fairy.
not
It's not the
reality.
fairy godmother.
That's not
or,
reality.
the genie in the bottle who's going to
Yep.
grant you 3 wishes. That's not how it works.
And in a moment like this, where there is pain and suffering and uncertainty, I hope you see and can feel the encouragement of knowing that in spite of what's happening right now, I can look beyond and feel that God and know that God is in control. He is with me always. And that can be the encouragement and foundation to help me not falter every day. Like we don't have to give up. We don't have to fall apart under the pressure because it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to me to survive COVID-19.
Right.
I don't have the strength to survive it. I don't have the strength to just not be discouraged and not have problems and not fall into to loneliness or depression. No. I need to rely on God because He's promised that He will never leave me and I'll never forsake me. What a great promise. I hope that is an encouragement to you guys today to know and remember that God is always with you. And remember in that moment, especially right now, you're not alone. And you're not alone because of God being with you, and you're not alone because we're all in this together. I mean, like that's just reality. So stay connected with us as we get into the summertime here. Stick with us on the show here during the week. We'll find some other opportunities to get together and hang out. But we can survive, we can even thrive if we walk with our Heavenly Father. All right, let's play a game.
Yeah, game time.
Let's play a game.
Get those phones.
We're gonna play a little game called Should I Stay or
Should I stay or
go?
should I go?
Okay, so we're gonna give you some scenarios because let's be real. We're coming into that moment here where we're gonna be able to do some things, but then the question is like, should I do those things? So we're gonna
Yes.
give you some
No.
scenarios.
Depends on what it is.
That you have to decide: should I participate or should I just stay home and not deal with it? Okay, so here we
cool,
go.
stay in school.
You'll understand this as we get into it. Okay, so here we go. Let's give the first scenario. This is the instruction. So just how badly do you want to get out of the house, right? That's what it comes down to. Would you be willing to take on the situation with the stipulation, or would it be better to just stay home? That's the question. Here we go. Number 1. You get to go to school, but it's exam day. What would you do? Now, so in the comments, just give us a stay or go. Like thumbs up, yes, stay, thumbs down, go. Give us your answer, what you're thinking. Is it worth coming back to school if you have to come back just for exam day?
What if it's an eye exam?
I've never had an eye exam at school.
Really?
I don't think so.
I had one at Springford once upon a time.
Okay.
I feel like
Mr.
that was
Turner,
a part of the
have you ever,
the thing.
you guys, have had one? Okay, all
I
right.
have.
So it's possible. Okay, next one. Here we go. Couple minutes and we're going to be done here. Would you stay or would you go? You get to go to church, but you have to be on the platform. You have to give the welcome and make the announcements.
I mean, I'd go, but I do like Sunday night prayer and
I mean,
stuff.
it happens.
do
I'm used to it.
Right.
I mean, I could do it
It's not
faster.
too bad.
I could do it faster than the associate pastors.
We're going to keep going. What would the teenagers do? What would you do? Would you still come, or would you just be like, no, I'm going to stay home. I'm really not up for getting in front of everybody. I don't know. So let us know in the comments. Next question. Should you stay or should you go? Would you go to the beach, but you have to get in the water in jeans and a hoodie and a face mask?
I'd stay home.
Is it
What's the
so worth the trouble?
Think
Not
about
quite.
think about those tan lines.
Not very much because you'd be completely covered. I'm all about going to the beach. I'm not big like the water person.
Yeah.
I'm rather like give me like a cup of iced tea and a book under an umbrella and I'm good. But even that,
I never knew that.
shorts and a t-shirt like that, a hoodie and jeans just I'm
No.
not.
That's
Would that be a
miserable.
deal breaker for you?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Turner? Definitely. Okay. And there we go. Next one. Should I stay or should I go? Okay, Disney World. Would you go to Disney World if you could go with your family, but you couldn't actually go on any rides?
No.
No.
You get to-
Definitely not.
So you'd rather stay home completely
Yes.
Right.
than being able to be there.
Yeah.
So that's the question. What would you choose? Would you choose? Are you just so sick of being in the house that it would be worth it to you, or would that just be such a bummer? Like, favorite Disney World ride? Go.
Oh, Expedition Everest.
Oh, that's I'd probably Space Mountain.
What's the one at Epcot where you sit in the chair and it's like
Soarin'.
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 Oh, that one's
That's
cool.
cool.
That is cool.
That was cool.
That
They
is
need
cool.
to do like a Star Wars version
I
of
think-
that ride.
I think
they're
they
working
do.
on that
I-
actually.
well, I think-
is that in the new?
Isn't
I
there
think
one
it's
you
in
can
the
fly
new-
the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, my parents were
do
just
that.
there.
but it's
and,
the same
and I think it's
kinda-
that.
That's I love that ride.
actually,
That's pretty
Animal
cool.
Kingdom has an Avatar one where you're like
I've heard of
flying.
that. I haven't been on.
I
that one.
have been on that like 3
Pretty cool.
times.
I just
Pretty
want to
cool.
go chill
Thank
with
you, Becca
Chewbacca.
Stong.
Like, that's all I care about.
All right, here we go. Next one. Would you stay or would you go? You get to go see your favorite team play, whatever team that is, and sit in the front row right behind your team. But you have to openly root against your team. So the question is, what would your favorite team be?
Go Birds.
Okay. Mr. Turner, what would your favorite what would be that team that you choose to go root for live?
Oh, the Steelers. sorry, guys. My bad.
Can we
Okay,
kick,
so
him out?
If
I
the-
like how you just.
If the Eagles are
skipped
playing the
over
Steelers, would you be willing to sit right behind the bench if you had to root for the other team? That's a tough one. Mr.
Okay,
Turner,
It
well,
depends on
would
what
you be
team.
willing to root for the Eagles
Okay, here's
if
the-
you're sitting right
Here's
behind
the thing, though.
the
I
Steelers
could
bench?
wear my Carson Wentz jersey and cheer for the Steelers.
This is true. That
I mean, sitting
I'll
like in the
allow
front
that.
row would
I'll
be.
allow that.
I think the way you described it just now, I'd be a little willing to, because at least it's a Pennsylvania team. Now, if it was like the Ravens, like no,
right,
I'd
that would be a
never
problem. That would be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think I
Never.
could.
I'd rather
well,
die.
They're not true rivals, so it's
I
less
don't.
of an
I don't
issue.
want to die. I don't think I could go to like
A
the
Giant,
Eagles.
like we do
Eagles,
a Giants game or a Cowboys game. like
Cowboys.
that.
Yeah, no, you die.
Right,
Like
yeah.
sitting in the front row, like go Cowboy. No, I don't think I could do that.
All right, here we go. Next question. Now, just pay attention here, because we're gonna call a hot seat in just a moment. Here we go. I get to go to my favorite restaurant, but I have to eat with my arch nemesis.
I'd do anything for food.
Yeah, I could do that. Easy.
Yeah, I'm feeling. I'm kind of now. Does everyone have an arch nemesis? I mean, I guess like, even if you don't want to admit it, you probably really do at
Yeah.
some level.
Yeah.
Even if it's from maybe historical, like somebody from
It
your
would
past.
definitely would have been like somebody from like high school or
You know,
college.
that kid you hated in like 3rd grade that beat you up in the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't
something
even.
like
I don't even know that.
Are you talking about from like experience, like watching that happen to Andrew?
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Hot seat. Next person to call will be able to answer a question and get a prize delivered to them. So, next person to pick up the phone and call us, you are going to get a delivery tomorrow, or depending on how far away you live, maybe another day. But probably
We
tomorrow.
can divide and conquer.
Okay, so
potentially.
let's go ahead. Let's put up the. There it is. We're ready to go. Who's going to be the first person to call in and get this now? Back to the restaurant. What would be the restaurant that you haven't been able to go to, that you would choose to go to? Now that when quarantine's over, what would be your choice?
Restaurant, which one to go to? I just want to say with the arch nemesis, I think why it's okay for me is you can kind of find common ground with anybody if you try.
Right.
So like, in order to go eat my favorite food in the world, like that's worth it.
I mean, you'd have to really, really hate somebody to not sit down with them.
right?
But
no,
even an arch
even then,
nemesis,
I could sit down and
you'd
have
be
food
willing
with
to.
them.
Right.
Okay, but it
like,
comes
I
back
feel
to
like
the question.
Batman could sit down with the Joker.
What-
Like, why not?
What would be the restaurant?
Oh man,
Where would you guys choose? Where would
the
you go?
Palm. I'd say the Palm.
Palm?
The Palm.
I don't think I've ever been there.
It's an
Where's that?
Italian steakhouse in Philly. They also have a location in New York and
Nice.
and Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that I would say it's my favorite restaurant, but I feel like the best post-quarantine splurge
Right.
would be Fogo de Chao.
You know, I was kind of.
Yeah,
That's
a
up there.
good
That's
call
in
right
my.
there.
Oh, we got a caller. Who is it? Oh, hold on. There we go. Let me get you on speaker. Who is this? I lost you. My phone's blowing up. Okay, hold on. I have to reject all these other calls. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me?
Hello?
There we are. Who is this?
It's Janelle.
Hey, Janelle. How's it going?
Good.
You are the first caller. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So first of all, let me ask you about the last question about having lunch with your arch nemesis. Where would you take your arch nemesis to lunch if you were allowed to right now?
I'd probably go to like Chick-fil-A just because why not Chick-fil-A?
Hey, why not, right?
Right.
Are you?
I mean,
I
can't
am
argue
judging you
Chick-fil-A.
big time. For
Are
that
you
answer.
are you the kind of person that just you get the same thing every time at Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you just like a straight number one kind of girl?
Yeah.
Okay. Extra pickles or no extra pickles?
No
No
pickles.
at all.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's sad.
That's a girl after my
okay.
own heart.
Okay, Janelle, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spin the wheel here and ask you a question. If you answer the question correctly, then I will bring you either a 12-pack of your favorite soda or the biggest bag I can find of your favorite chips.
Okay.
Okay? Here we go. We're gonna spin the wheel now. And stop. Here's the question. What would you sing at karaoke night?
That's a good one.
I would sing Jesus Loves Me.
I feel like
I
that is
don't
such a
believe
cop-out
you.
answer.
Yeah, it is.
As Tara Hickey would say, that's a Sunday school
That is a
answer.
little bit of a science
I
answer.
like it.
Okay. Either way, that's the right answer. I can't believe she got it. Janelle, what would you like me to bring you?
Can I have Mountain Dew?
Absolutely. Now, regular Mountain Dew or like a flavor of Mountain Dew?
The blue one?
The blue one.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what the blue one's called. Do you guys know what the blue
I
one's
think
called?
it's like ice,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's Voltage.
Oh, voltage.
Voltage, yeah,
That's
it.
right.
That is
I think
it.
that's
It
right.
is
That's
voltage.
right. Voltage is right. All right, Janelle. I will bring you a 12-pack of Voltage. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Does Mrs. Cobb still drink Mountain Dew every morning?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You should
No,
just
she gave
call
it
her
up?
right now, live on camera.
All right, here we go. Next question. Keep your phones handy. Just saying. Actually, I think this is the final question.
No, there's two more after this.
Can you go to the next one? If you get to go to a birthday party with 100 people, but you don't know anybody, are you that desperate to get out of the house that you would go hang out with 100 people you've never met in your life? Or would you just stay home? What would the call
So
be?
could it be people that you like know them, like you know who they are, but
Nope.
you've never met them?
100 people with no connection whatsoever.
That'd be awkward.
All the extroverts are like, yes, please. All the
Right,
introverts
right.
are like, I'll stay at home reading Lord of the Rings.
All the
No
introverts
judgment.
are having
Get it,
anxiety
you go.
attacks right now.
Okay, so tell us. Thumbs up, thumbs down, stay or go. Would you join the birthday party with people you have no idea who they are just because you're that sick of your little brother? I don't know. I have little brothers. I'm not. Oh, I don't live with
You
them
don't
right
live
now,
with them.
so I guess if I did, I probably would say yes. I want to go to the birthday party, no matter what. But that's not the case. Okay, last one. Second to last one. I get to go on a date. Now, caveat. This is when you turn 35. Okay, so you get to go on a date when you're 35 with the person of your dreams, but your parents come along and tell embarrassing stories about you the whole time. Would it be better to go ahead and go on the date, or that's just not worth it? Like, I don't trust my parents.
So
that
here's some like ironic thinking. So I actually think this would be like the perfect way to start a relationship because you can only go up from
Right.
there. And if she still likes you after that,
only
then
go
I feel
up
like
from
you should
there?
just go buy the ring.
much. If she still likes you after
If
that,
she still likes you
it's
after
meant
that.
to be.
Yeah. Well, actually, probably if she still likes your parents after that, then
Right. That's
You know,
a good
maybe
point.
even
That's a good
better.
point. Okay, that last one in this turn. Go ahead and put that last one up. That we had. Go ahead, go back to that. I get to go to youth group in person again. Should I stay or should I go?
do I have to teach the 10th graders? Just kidding. I love
You better say go.
How much you want to bet there's gonna be when this actually
might
gets
be a
live,
while.
all thumbs down.
It might be a while, but you better say that you go because we'll probably give stuff away like we're gonna do right now because it's time for hot seat. Next person to call is gonna get a home delivery of something that they like. So who will be the next person to call? Now we had one guy and we had one girl. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you guys think? Will it be another girl?
Johan.
Is the Johan's tried. Thank you for trying, Johan. But no, Johan hasn't got it yet. So
Just like his homework, he's always a little late.
who will be the next person to arrive? And I got to make sure I hit the speaker before more
For-
people call because it keeps taking the screen
Keep
away.
taking it away from
So if I hang up on you, sorry, it's just how it works.
We'll call you back.
Maybe. Most likely.
So like, should we Should we just have youth group like outside forever, like going forward?
No.
Not when it's cold. When it's warm, yeah.
So, because they're saying that there's the chance that like a vaccine might not work.
Yeah.
So like we'll just have to always have youth group outside because you're good outside.
No,
right?
I feel like at some point
Just deal with it.
people won't care.
I'm kind of thinking a lot of people already don't care. Just saying.
Put me in that camp, but everybody to each their own.
Speaking of which, though, seriously, on Sunday at 11 o'clock, your family can come and drive through the parking lot and say hello to us. We're going to do a can drive for some people in our area that are needy. Oh, we got one. Here we go. I've got it on speaker. Hello, who is this? Hello?
It's not a trick question.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hey, who is this?
Hi, it's Sarah Hale.
Hey, Sarah Hale, you won.
Well, not yet. You need to answer the question.
Actually, no, that's true. You got to answer the question. So, we're going to spin the wheel here and ask you a question. Are you ready? Okay.
Don't sound so
Are
excited.
you sure? Here we go. Ready? We're going to spin it now. And stop. Okay, here's your question. Where do you, Sarah Hale, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself?
Yes, like where will you be 5 years from today?
Probably college.
That's probably a good bet.
I
You're,
like the
you're in
probably
ninth
college.
grade, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you don't fail a grade and redo, you'll be good.
Be like summer of sophomore year.
Yeah.
So what will you be studying?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's the question. Would you like a 12-pack of soda or the largest bag of your favorite chips that I can find?
Soda would be good.
Okay. Root beer?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Root beer is on the way. You have a great day, all right?
You too.
Bye, Sarah.
All right. Congratulations, guys. My phone's still ringing, but sorry. That's it.
Need to work on being a little faster with those fingers.
So that's why you got to pay attention. Don't fall asleep. And watch till the end of the show because we do give stuff away. That being said, thank you for being here. I'm sure, as it was for us, this was the most exciting half hour.
the
of your
highlight of your week.
Thank you for joining us. Ms. Turner, say goodbye.
See y'all, guys. The camera's not on me, so see ya.
All right. See you next week.
of Calvary. You, the perfect Holy One, crushed your Son, who drank the bitter cup reserved for me. Your blood has washed away my sin. Jesus, thank you. The Father's wrath completely satisfied. Jesus, thank you. Once your enemy, now seated at your table. Jesus, thank you. By a perfect sacrifice, I've been brought near. Your enemy, you've made your friend. Pouring out the riches of your glorious grace. Your mercy and your kindness know no end. Your blood has washed away my sin. Jesus, thank you. The Father's wrath completely satisfied. Jesus, thank you. Once your enemy, now seated at your table. Jesus, thank you. Lover of my soul, I want to live for you. Lover of my soul, I want to live for you. Lover of my soul, I want to live for you. Lover of my soul, I want to live for you. Your blood has washed away my sin. Jesus, thank you. The Father's wrath completely satisfied. Jesus, thank you. Your blood has washed away my sin. Jesus, thank you. The Father's wrath completely satisfied. Jesus, thank you. Once your enemy, now seated at your table. Jesus, thank you. Jesus, thank you. Once your enemy, now seated at your table. Jesus, thank you.
We find ourselves living in uncertain times, where there once was right and wrong, it seems we blurred the lines. We're told there are no absolutes, so everyone is free to choose their own version of the truth. And the skeptics and scoffers may laugh at my faith, but I'm holding to the rock that will not change.
One God, one King, one champion left standing, one faithful love unending, one Lord alone, one Lamb upon the throne.
Through history, there has been a battle fought for the souls of every man, a fight for every heart. Some days it seems that evil will win, but through His word the truth prevails, reminding me again
that the kingdom of darkness will fall to its knees.
For a day will come when every eye
will see one God, one King, one champion left standing, one faithful love unending, one Lord alone, one Lamb upon the throne, one answer to the questions, one Redeemer crucified, one saving resurrection, one way, one truth, one life, one God, one King, one champion left standing, one faithful love unending, one Lord alone,
one Lamb upon
one
the
God, one King, one champion left standing, one faithful love unending, one Lord alone, one Lamb upon the throne, one Lamb upon the throne, one Lamb upon the throne, one God.
The words of ancient prophets proclaimed His deity. The miracles told the power of His touch. The basin and the towel proved His humility. But to show the depths of His matchless love for us, it took the cross, it took that rugged tree to show just how far He'd go to set us free. With His heart broken, arms wide open, His blood called to the lost, to pay sin's final cost. it took the cross. The teachings in the temple displayed his worthiness. The tears he shed in sorrow spoke his heart. The children in his arms revealed his tenderness. But for his saving grace to reach us where we are, it took the cross. It took that rugged tree to show just how far he'd go to set us free. With his heart broken, arms wide open, his blood called to the lost, to pay sin's final cost. It took the cross, the message of mercy, once for all proclaimed. Through his sacrifice, what a price he paid. It took the cross, it took that rugged tree to show just how far he'd go to set us free. With his heart broken, arms wide open, his blood called to the lost, to pay sin's final cost. It took the cross. It took the cross. It took the cross.
Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here, I find my rest. Without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Where sin runs deep, your grace is more. Where grace is found is where you are. And where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. So teach my soul to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. Jesus, you're my hope and stay. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my right. my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
He promised us that he would be a counselor, a mighty God and the Prince of Peace. He promised us that he would be a father, and he would love us with a love that would not cease. Well, I tried him and I found his promises were true. He's everything he said he would be. The finest words I know could not begin to tell just how much Jesus means to me.
For he's more wonderful than my mind can conceive. He's more wonderful than my heart can believe. He goes beyond my highest hopes and fondest dreams. He's everything that my soul ever longed for, everything he promised, and so much more. More than amazing, more than marvelous, more than miraculous could ever be. He's more than wonderful. That's what Jesus is to me.
I stand amazed to think the King of glory would come to live within the heart of man. And I marvel just to know he really loves me when I think of who he is and who I am.
For he's more wonderful than my mind can conceive. He's more wonderful than my heart can believe. He goes beyond my highest hopes and fondest dreams. He's everything.
He's everything
That my soul